Hi, I'm Ben Simister, and I'm a neurology recruiter here at RosmanSearch. During this time, I will be discussing how to prepare for an on-site interview. Congratulations, you made it to the interview stage. The goal of all interviews is to get an offer. Even if at this point you're unsure about the position, and if you will take the job if you receive an offer, it is always nice to have the option. Therefore, the goal of all interviews should be to receive an offer. So, come to the in-person stage. What should you expect and how should you prepare for the on-site interview? First off, making sure you have an itinerary beforehand so you know who you are meeting. This is very important to stay on schedule. And to also be familiar with who you are meeting and what the person's role is before meeting them. Then, when the time comes, you have an understanding of who each person is. Doing as much research as possible at the program is very vital. The more you know about who you are meeting, the program itself, and everything there is to know about the position will put you in a good place with the interviewers and help you when it comes to making a hiring decision. Dress for success, no jeans. I know this sounds obvious, but being professional is very important. Arriving approximately 10 minutes early. Arriving 10 minutes early is a good time to arrive. This will show that you are very punctual and able to keep it scheduled. Anything earlier and they may not be ready for you, and waiting around and creating the interviewers to rush may not be the start of an interview that you wish for. Arriving at the time of the interview or a few minutes early is not always the best option either. This may indicate that you like to run last minute or have the potential to be late. I recommend arriving 10 minutes early to show signs of good punctuation. Turn off your cell phone. Avoiding any distractions will help with your concentration. It would not be good reflection on yourself if your phone went off in the middle of an interview. If you do need to use your phone, communicating this is very important, so it does not just look like you are bored and using your cell phone during the interview. Shaking hands, trying to remember names, and smiling is such an important part of the interview and will go a long way with the key decision makers when making a decision. I personally like to repeat somebody's name in my head a couple times after they've introduced themselves to help me remember names. People always remember who did and who didn't remember names, and being one of the ones who did remember names will have a positive impact on your interview. I also recommend bringing a notebook. Bringing a notebook to the interview is always a great idea to help you remember things and make notes. This will also give you the opportunity to write down any questions that you may have. Therefore, when the time comes, you will not forget any questions that you would like to ask. Preparing questions in advance and asking questions about new things you have learned in the interview is very important during the interview. You will have the opportunity to ask questions at the end of the interview. Having questions will show that you are interested in the position and eager to learn more. It does not look good in any interview if the candidate does not have any questions at the end of an interview. Be sure to send thank you emails, showing that you are grateful for the time and it was a pleasure meeting everyone will go a long way. Questions. What questions can you ask on a site visit? There are many questions you can ask on a site visit, and making sure you ask questions is very important, as I mentioned a little earlier. Do not be afraid to ask the same question to different people. Some questions you may want to ask are questions like, can you tell me about what I will need to do to successfully develop a practice here? Where do your referrals currently come from? How are new patients allocated? Is anyone expected to retire, or are you growing the department? Has there been a turnover in practice? Did anybody leave? Do you mind telling me why the person left? Understanding why a previous neurologist left practice is very important. Can you tell me about the relationship between the practice and its admitting hospitals? How many hospitals will I be expected to work at? Are there any affiliated hospitals and practices with this hospital or program or practice? Are there physician assistant or nurse practitioner support? What will be offered in terms of support and equipment? It is very important to ask questions, and to make sure you have some questions prepared is a must. To conclude, make sure you do your research on the program. You need to be prepared for both phone interviews and on-site interviews as well as you possibly can. Have some questions ready. Dress to impress, to make sure the first impression of you is very professional. Be punctual and organized, showing up 10 minutes early and knowing who you are meeting and when. Make sure you show enthusiasm. Being enthusiastic, happy, and making the impression that you are interested in the position and happy to be there is very important. Let them know you would love the position at their program. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time, even on weekends included, at the information shown. Thank you for your time and have a great day.